Welcome back to the Jesse Rucinski show. It is a big day. There's some big stuff that happened, so I had to change course a little from what I was originally going to do, but this is way more important, I do believe, and most of you should agree with that. That is the raid that we, you know, did successfully did on ISIS. Now we did a raid in Syria, took out one of their top leaders. That it was a big one. That's a victory for the administration, for the country, really, because since everything in Afghanistan, ISIS has been making their presence known, and they are rebuilding. So anything, so even if there's a million of them, which I've seen a lot of people comment, and it's true, there's tens of thousands of people ready to take the role and be that leader. But I mean, getting one of them, that's really the important thing here, because it's the only, there might be a lot to get, take this place, but at least we got it. So we got one, and that's a small victory, take them where you can with these people because of all the attacks they've been doing on civilians, our bases over there, all kinds of everywhere, really on everyone. You have to, celebrate, well, not celebrate, but take a victory lap or anything, but, you have to acknowledge, I'd say, the importance of us at least doing it and carrying it out successfully and getting the mission done. And a big thing for counterterrorism. And, I think they should do more of these type things than drones, because of the amount of civilian innocent casualties that, tend to pop up through all those drone strikes. And if you look back at the numbers, they have caused a lot of unnecessary civilian casualties, which don't help us in any situation, which really, killed us a lot in the Middle East, because there's so many drone strikes and we're just killing so many innocent people compared to we got one guy, we killed 15 innocent people, that starts adding up, and the people around there do notice it. It doesn't help our people there, but there's a lot to this story. So, I said we jump right in with, there's again a lot. There's numbers, there's some stuff that still hasn't been confirmed. The story will continue to grow, so I will be putting more out there as we find it out. So make sure to check the page and share this out to people so they can get the word. And because there's a lot of good stuff. Again, it just happened so recently that it's gonna be more information coming out. That's how these things typically end up working, is more information keeps coming out as time goes by, just because they're still looking at everything, investigations still happening, so much stuff. But there's a key counterterrorism mission that was carried out successfully, which is always, again, a good thing, which I'll always say, you gotta do what you gotta do. I like these better than I like drone strikes, but we'll get into all that. The U.S. did carry out a mission successfully in Syria that led to the death of ISIS leader Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Qurashi, also known as Amir Mohammed Saeed Abdul Rahman al-Mawla, in a raid, and it was carried out in the village of Atmeh. Trust me, I'm speaking all this wrong. In Idlib province of Syria, an area near the Turkish border, which historically, throughout stuff is home, and now is home to several top Al-Qaeda operatives, numerous militant groups, all kinds of people that are still fighting for President Bashir Assad. And we could go back to all the years under under Obama and Biden, I'd say, because that's when it was really, the worst of it seemed to be happening. He was gassing his own, civilians and citizens in Syria. All the stuff that happened forever. I haven't heard his name in, forever, but he was making big headlines years ago for doing all kinds of heinous things to his own people. And there's still people fighting for him, obviously. And that's never going to go away, especially in that region, just with the way, everything is over there. But name again, haven't heard in a while, but look at my militant groups. They're still for all kinds of defunct, leaders or anything really. I mean, there's still like neo-Nazis and stuff right now. Look how long Hitler's allegedly been gone. I mean, by now he's gone, but it's just the way it is. Again, terrible. All the stuff that President Assad was doing all those years ago, like a decade ago, is really, really just heinous. The things he was doing to his own people, and there's so much chaos. And I think more should have happened then. But it's besides the point. In another story, there were senior administration officials that say this raid was on the same scale as the 2011 raid when we got Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. And allegedly, I mean, there's still people that are always running their suck about whether or not we actually got him. Because no pictures, no this, that. Just buried him out at sea. Just all that stories. But from that raid, which we lost, helicopter and all kinds of things, happened there, but that was a big time raid. And look, that's how we got, Osama bin Laden. And look at the decades he was on top of the world, reigning terror, literally around the world. So the first raid since then, multiple reports have come out. I'm sure you've all seen it too, which is why I'm giving you what has been, like, at least mostly, seems to be the consensus of a lot of people, because I know all of you, I'm sure a lot of people have seen different, numbers and things coming out from, different agencies, and whether it's military, government, news, like there's been a lot of different stories coming out, what side they're on, countries. Like there's all kinds of different stuff coming out. I'm going to go over a bunch of the similarities and some of the things that, are differentiating between there that are, that still suck regardless. So I feel those are important to mention, as the ones that just suck, like no matter which way about it, even if it's off by 2 or 3, like it still is horrific. But again, these things happen, and these things, especially when these guys are in these situations, to look at all the innocent civilians that get taken out all the time by these people blowing up markets and mosques and all kinds of stuff. It's just, what they do. Like there's all kinds of innocents killed all the time over there. So again, anytime we can get one of these, get someone, there might be more behind them, but it's victory in my eyes. Anyway, the officials, like there's been lots of reporting on, his habits and his whereabouts. And this is also stuff coming, again, intelligence from people that live there, like all kinds of, different places coming up with all of this information. But it was reported that he really never left his home, minus to go up onto the rooftop to bathe. So at least he was bathing, I guess. He lived on the 3rd floor of the building, had a bunch of his family up there with him, and that he relied on a courier and a lieutenant that lived on the 2nd floor of the 3-story building that he was located in to, to run his, global terrorism organization, which it is. Because again, ISIS, like, people all over the place. It's like all over. Look at them in Afghanistan that carried out this attack on us in Afghanistan when, after that whole thing, I guess I'll say it, after all hell broke loose over there this past August and all that, they carry out attacks in Iraq. They've, they have, I'm sure they have a footing in Pakistan. I almost put money on that, just because the way Pakistan is and the borders there, and like whatever they say normally doesn't work out to be the whole entire truth. When it comes to them, they could say all they want, but lots of terror and stuff carried out and allowed to be in their country. So, all kinds of craziness there. But to think that he was running this and no one ever, saw a video of him or heard his voice, even, and that he had his lieutenant living, on the floor below him, running the whole entire terror group, which really is terrifying to see how much they're accomplishing from a courier and a lieutenant when no one ever even saw him or heard him. It's really actually kind of crazy. Another crazy thing, the family that lived on the 1st floor of the building had no idea that it was him who was living on the 3rd floor. That little, the leader of ISIS lived 2 floors above them, which is, imagine that's a hell of a thing to find out in that situation. Like that's got to be a wake up call to know the leader of ISIS, and one of them was living on the 3rd floor with his family, and you had no idea. And the person that lived directly above you, you had a courier and a lieutenant that was running everything from the floor above you. Like that has to be just mind altering levels of stuff right there to even be like, hey, by the way, leaders of ISIS. Really? Like that has to be just mind boggling. And I hope everything works out good for the family. They had a brand new 10-day-old baby in there with them, and they did leave the premises, when U.S. personnel asked them to leave while they were doing everything. I think that the explosion that happened up there, like gunfight, all of that. We can only hope for the best for all of them. I'm just happy that the building didn't completely collapse on them, which is a good thing, and they all got out. But I mean, like a 10-month-old baby, and suddenly that starts happening way early in the morning. Like that had to be just mind altering, mind altering to have this whole entire thing happen right above you. So again, hope everything works out good for them and the baby, because again, 10 days old, explosions, kind of like, hopefully it all works out good there. But back to the mission. This is the largest scale mission 2019 killing of Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who we heard a lot during the Trump administration. Heard all about that. One resident told the Associated Press that he was woken around 1:10 local time in the morning when his doors and windows were rattling, which used to happen to me, except it was from the train across the street, which, by the way, can wake you up. But he woke up to the sound of his doors and windows rattling and low-flying aircraft, and saw 3 aircrafts through his window when he looked out without turning any lights on. Residents of the village say they were warned by loudspeaker for women and children to leave the area. And that went on for about 45 minutes. And then after that, about 2-hour firefight, happened. Machine gun fire was ringing out, and they had helicopters, flying low, circling the area during it. In 2-hour firefight. I mean, they are very common for people that never been over there, but that's just got to be, again, terrifying for everyone that had no idea who he even was. But Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Qurashi, I'm sure screwed that, but in the end he ended up lighting a large cache of explosives that he had up there on the 3rd floor where he was staying, and ended up blowing himself and several family members up in the process, and taking them all out, women, children, like all kinds of things, which isn't good. And I have to read this statement in one of the parts of President Biden's speech yesterday that, I actually agree with the man. So, President Biden, we do know that as our troops approached to capture the terrorist in a final act of desperate cowardice, with no regard to the life of his own family or others in the building, he chose to blow himself up, not just with the vest, but to blow up that 3rd floor rather than face justice for the crimes he has committed, taking several members of his family with him. And I know it has to be surprising, but I mean, I do agree with him, whoever wrote that, whatever, the case may be. I agree with them, because, it is the final one more act of, cowardice for people, to do all this, and they don't want to deal with, getting caught. But again, there's a lot of them that, death before being captured and going to jail and all of that. Like we all know that, we've all heard it. It's the way they are. Do I like it? No. But I mean, death over being captured. There's been people that have done that for forever now. I mean, all the way back to like the Japanese. They just sword themselves. Nazis, their cyanide capsules, like rather than being captured. And again, killed family members, killed people, in other buildings. Like, it caused a lot of chaos, and there's pictures of it all over for everyone to see of what the building looked like. And blown to hell the third floor, but again, the bottom two were still looking to be quite intact. So there is that, but none of them have regard for them. Like, look what they do for a living. None of them have regards for themselves or others. They really don't care. They blow themselves up. They blow up innocent people. They do all kinds of things like that. It's what they do. It's what they've been trained to do. It's what a lot of them spend their whole life wanting to do. And especially when it's a leader, I mean, whether he was having a lieutenant and a courier run everything and no one heard him, but he still had all those explosives and they were still carrying out all kinds of things. So, it's just name of the game. It's how the beast works. Sadly, I don't like it. You people don't have to like it. No one has to like it. It's not good, but it's what they do. Regardless, I do agree. Everyone write that down with President Biden, because, it is an act of cowardice for, what they do and how many people they take out to go and then blow themselves up and their family instead of, facing the consequences of doing it. But again, it's what they do. So, is what it is. There's nothing we could do to change it, none you will do to change it. It's like, it's just what's ingrained into their DNA and what, into these groups and their beliefs. And, it's what they do. Sadly, there's nothing you could do about it either, which is a shame because people don't have to die because of it. But again, it's what they do. So sadly, I don't think we'll ever be able to change that aspect of it. Moving on, just like when we went after Osama bin Laden in 2011, we did have to blow up one of our helicopters. That's sort of mechanical issue and could not fly back. So we did lose one of those, but it got blown up successfully. So we didn't have to worry about the enemy getting their hands on any of it. And out of the conflicting reports from the incident when it comes to civilian deaths in the area during the mission, because again, 2-hour firefight, explosions, sadly, people are going to die in the process of that. And there's going to be numbers coming from us and from different groups inside of Syria, which is where a lot of conflicting information and numbers are going to come from in these situations. If you've never been, look how many different numbers we have just from different things when it comes to things like COVID. There's, or when you're living somewhere different weather, people say again, we've had different total amounts of like rain or snowfall when you're sitting there going, so there's conflicting numbers with everything, especially when this many explosives and this kind of mission is going on. But the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights claims that 9 civilians were killed, including 2 children. And then the White Helmets, a civil defense group in Syria, tweeted that 13 civilians were killed, including 6 children and 4 women. And they also claim that they rushed an injured man to the hospital that got injured when he approached the scene to witness what was happening. Again, there's different numbers coming from the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights and the White Helmets. Just made that they tweeted, out numbers and stuff, but I'm sure the actual numbers will come out, and I'm sure we'll have an updated number on everything. I'm sure there'll be a report on it. I'm sure they won't come out and actually, tell us. It'll take media outlets or just someone looking up the actual files in the Pentagon, at the Pentagon, however you want to put it, to get the actual number. Again, it'll be, I'm sure, forever until we actually get it. Because again, there's 2 people that were there that were inside of Syria that came up with different numbers by, one of them said 9 and the other one said 13. So we'll see how that all works out. The suicide detonation caused casualties, from everything. Blew up a whole floor of a building pretty damn well. So that's going to cause all kinds of things. And there's conflicting, again, numbers between, what we're getting there compared to what we're getting from U.S. officials. So I'm sure, we'll get a truer look at the numbers in the coming days. But again, it's so fresh and there's so much going on over there. that, you know, that'll play it by ear and see what happens. But I mean, the whole third floor blew off. So, people are going to get, that's going to send stuff everywhere, not going to cause bad things. It always does. So we'll see where it goes. And now on to ISIS's activities since the whole Afghanistan debacle, where we have seen them reasserting themselves. Again, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. I'm sure they're in Pakistan. They're doing that. They attacked on a prison that was holding a lot of ISIS, soldiers, members, crazy people, whatever you want to call them. A lot of members, ISIS militants. That's a good word. Inside of it, it went on for 10 days, and the U.S. did help them get back control of that is one thing, but they've been attacking bases, as we saw in Iraq. Like, they've been doing that since they got back. They carried out that bombing right away after they got freed when Taliban rushed and, the whole country of Afghanistan took it over in like 10 seconds. And they took out the attack that killed our service members then. So they're up doing their thing. And, look how far they've already spread in the attacks they're doing. So we need to keep doing things like this. We really did. Like, you got to keep going at them. I mean, I don't know what the intelligence situation's like over there since we completely left Afghanistan. I don't think we really have a lot over there, but we got to reestablish something just so we can have the best information as humanly possible to get it and to keep carrying out, attacks on them and their leadership, because they're continuing to grow back up and attack innocent civilians, all over the place. And we remember what they were like. So, you didn't hear their name come 2019 after al-Baghdadi. Like, and we've been hearing their name more and more. And they attacked, again, a lot of bases, civilians. Like, they just been going after everybody, and they were for years and years carrying out attacks all over the place. And we do not need it to get back to that level. We need to keep our foot on the pedal, foot on their throat, whatever the hell you want to call it. We need to keep it going, because we don't need them to get back to where they were, because that was just an abysmal situation for the whole world. And we finally had them going and on the run. And well, since Afghanistan, now we're seeing them popping up and doing attacks like all over the place and attacking our troops. And again, more people. We need to keep doing it. I say, not necessarily like, if we can do raids on leadership and all of that, I'm okay with that. If we do, find a way to do attacks on, places where they're training, like, we can figure that out, I'm okay with that. But just, we got to find a way to do it where we're not pissing off the whole entire country and world and all of them at us all over again because of loss of civilian life. And I don't know what side you all are on, but I mean, we all know, especially those people that served with me, and the numbers are out there, how many like innocent, like civilian casualties we had just during all the, we're going to get rid of troops over there and just do, drone strike after drone strike after drone strike. And the woman, they said they got the people that were responsible for planning the attack on our troops in Afghanistan, and turns out it killed a guy and like, 9 kids or something like that. Like, that's what happened with drone strikes. And like, look how many it took out. Look how many, like, you could take out so many, and the numbers are atrocious. All you have to do is look at how many innocent civilians were killed by drone strikes throughout all these years. And it's just the quickest way to piss off the whole entire thing and to get everyone like against us. And we need those people there to trust us, to want to work with us, to get rid of these people instead of blowing up thousands of people that are innocent, that had nothing to do with anything, because it's just going to piss them off. And we don't need that. If we actually want to get these guys and get good information and intelligence and everything, I mean, again, drone strikes work when you find like training things, but there's these kind of things now compared to just drone striking the hell out of everything. I mean, look at the amount of people we got that we wanted, and look at the innocent casualties from it. When you look those up, comment on this, because through the years it was just atrocious, and that really just That's not helping us. That's killing us around the world. It is helping drive the numbers and make it so much easier for them to recruit people. And you know, from all over the world, they can do that. Like whether it's over there in those countries, they're spewed them on the internet. Like there's all kinds of ways they could recruit people because they're seeing all this stuff, and we cannot afford to do that anymore. We need to, this still kills innocent civilians. Some died, injured. Some were injured because of the explosion from the building. Like there's a lot of different things that go into these, but and look at the civilian scale here again compared to that one drone strike just in Afghanistan. We are allegedly getting the person that planned out the attack on our people at the airport. Like comparatively, like I was just in one quick mistake, and all it takes is being off by a little bit to cause really big mistakes like that. And you don't have to agree with me on this. You don't. I don't expect anyone to agree with me, really, almost ever, a lot of people at least. But these work out better than, just drone strike after drone strike. And again, if you've never looked them up, please look up the numbers. Like thousands of people were lost to just idiocy, which again then made recruiting people to join the Afghani army or any of that stuff to carry out attacks on us like that or anything else and join the groups. Like it just made it so much easier because we were just killing everybody, and it gets you into a bad situation. There's no winning that war, and that wasn't the only problem that caused stuff, but it did not help anything. So hopefully we can keep getting victories like this and just keep taking out the leadership as much as we can, because that's really how we're going to get this done, because they'll always find idiots, but people that are actually capable of being leaders in it, sooner or later they have to run out. And I'll update everyone as more details come out. Again, there's still investigations and all kinds of stuff going on because it did just happen. So numbers will keep changing and things will keep changing, but regardless of it, I agree with the president. Whoever thought they'd hear me say that. And we got one. And if we, according to everything, and if we really did, that's a good thing for the world as a whole. So I can't be mad about it. And none of you should be mad about it. We should all agree that that's really a good thing. That's what we need. Less terror groups out there killing people is good. And again, anyone that's ever been over there and seen the intelligence, no offense to some of the people, that we tried to train to be in the army or do anything else, like I'm trying to talk about, but so I'm trying to do basic things, jump and jack, but the amount of people that can go and blow themselves up, sure. The amount of people that could lead the thing, you got to keep taking out the leaders. That's all I got to say about that. So with that, hopefully you guys learned something. Again, there's going to be more to come out, so we'll talk about it again, I am sure. But it's one of those things that had to get talked about, and it was way more important than the other thing I was going to, talk about. I can move that back to next week. But I want to say thank you to everyone that shares out the videos and audio. Please, please, please keep doing it on your social platforms. Helps me out. Again, set a giant record compared to double the previous record 2 episodes ago when everyone was sharing that out and did everything. Now we're back to about some normal stuff. So please, 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 keep sharing it out, all of you. And if you're listening to this, you can share it on your socials. You can share it if you're listening to it through Facebook thing. You can share it all out. It helps me out, get more people involved. And that's really, again, word of mouth. And to set that record, that was the greatest thing ever. So maybe we can do it again with this one, as it was last Fridays that did it. So we'll see, but I do appreciate all of you. I hope you guys have a good weekend. If you're up in the Northeast and all that, be safe with all the snow, ice, everything else I saw that's coming. We're not getting it anymore. They're supposed to get freezing rain. They're not calling for any of it, but it's supposed to get colder here. It's 75 right now. It's going to be in the 30s tonight or something, but 75 right now. Key to the sleeveless thing. This is actually because it's that hot out, but enjoy it. Do whatever you can. Again, if you can't go anywhere, at least, playing it or, I don't know. Just don't go out and do anything stupid, and go out if you don't have to, because it's not you people I'm worried about driving. It's all the people that can't drive. And then if you know you can't drive, don't drive, but stay safe, be good to each other, share it out, follow along on everything. I'm also now on Tune In. So if that's your preferred platform, check it out there. And we'll be back on Monday. So thanks for watching. Share it out, comment, be good to each other, be safe. And like always, my friends, until Monday, peace.